Good day, folks. This is another do-it-yourself video. Today we're going to be talking about how to install a slimline over the stove microwave. So I had a range vent in here, and lots of people have those. It's very common over stove. And if they want to get rid of a microwave appliance somewhere else in the kitchen up there, free up a shelf, they can replace this with a combination vent and microwave. Now, there are tall microwaves that have been around for years and years, decades, but they come too close to the range top. And unless you have a certain size cabinet, unless your cabinet is very short, you can't put one of those microwaves out. This is a new style that's come out not too long ago. It's only about 10.5 inches tall, and it fits under standard cabinetry that wasn't necessarily designed to have a microwave over there. Now, it's a bit tricky because in my case, like, every little bit of space mattered here because I wanted to keep this up as high as I possibly could so I can see the controls in the back of the stove as easy as possible. As it is, I may have to kind of bend down a little bit to see some of the controls or stand back, which is going to be annoying. So eventually I'll probably get a slide-in range with the controls in the front. That's probably what people are expecting you to do when manufacturers would expect when you get one of these. Now, this can either be installed vented through the roof or vented in the very back of the unit, or if you don't have vents at all in the house, it just can be used as a recirculating fan. So it basically draws up air up here and shoots it at the top. I mean, I don't think there's a lot of value in that, but ultimately you'd want to vent the bacon grease smell and everything up right outside. So to get the old unit out, I undid 4 screws in the bottom of this shelf, and the old unit came out. And the new unit, unfortunately, I'm not going to show you step by step because I've already got it installed, but I'll just give you some pro tips here. The new unit is only held in place by this screw that protrudes through there into the microwave, and this screw that protrudes through. So that's holding the main bulk of the weight, actually. And on the back, there's a bracket that we screwed to the wall. And what's nice about it is it's got holes in various places. So you can screw the bracket wherever you have studs. And wherever you don't have a stud, like if there's an end of that bracket you don't have a stud, you can use a wall anchor like this to secure the bracket to the wall. Now what's nice is the microwave goes in from the bottom like this, and then you hook the bottom into that bracket, and then you lift the top up and screw these screws in. So that's how the microwave gets installed. Depending on your venting configuration, you may have to adjust these block-off plates. When it came, this plate and this plate were like that. They were all vented. And in fact, this plate was turned around 180 degrees and sat on there. So it's kind of a funny arrangement where they say, take this plate out, turn it around and put it there, and replace these two with block-off plates. I don't know why. Well, I know why. It's because they shipped it intending for you not to have any exterior venting, which I find strange. Anyway, it's fairly well secured there. I wouldn't go hanging off it, that's for sure. I wouldn't do chin-ups off it. And I actually took another piece of hardwood and butted it up against this piece, and I glued and clamped them together and screwed them. And just to give this front piece a bit more support, because the manufacturer's instructions for the microwave say they want the shelf that this microwave is hung from to be able to support 150 pounds. Well, I weigh 165, and I hung off the shelf before the microwave was up and nothing broke. So we're good there. The other thing is it's not quite finished yet, but the electrical has to have its own outlet. Now the range, or no, the vent that was here originally was direct wired. So the outlet was needed. Need to get a cover on it, cover this. And the only other trick that is putting these vents back together, you want to tape any of these joints that when there's a male and a female joint, you'd like to tape them like this, but it's often pretty difficult to get them taped and get them back in position. So what I did was I took, this is the damper that sits on top of the microwave, and it will, when you turn the fan on, the damper opens like that, and turn the fan off, it goes like that, and it's designed to keep just exterior air from penetrating the house. I was trying to get this guy over this, but instead what I did was I unscrewed this. If I take this and put it in the bottom of the pipe here, and then insert the top of the pipe up there, it's just a lot easier. So just experiment with it when you're trying to put yours on. The manufacturer's instructions say to put that valve or that flapper on the microwave and then put your pipe on, but for me in this configuration that's not easy to do. If I had another person to hold the microwave lower, then I could maybe do that, but that's not the case. The only tricky part I think I'm going to have is getting tape around this piece before I slide that up, but I'm going to give it a shot. Anyway, again, not my typical full installation instructions, but might give you a few tips on how to install your microwave, and if you need any other guidance or have any comments, please put them in the comment section and I'll respond. And I think that's it for now. Good luck with your do-it-yourself projects, and if you like my channel, please subscribe.